Understand? Vrindavan is only 32 square miles. Yet, the whole universe is found there. So we have nowhere else to go. And the Shringapali is the same as Navadvip. The mutt is like Vrindavan. The whole universe is there. We have nowhere else to go. Only to engage in some humble service. That is our full life. A full life. If we have some connection with service, little connection. Doesn't even have to be a big connection. If we are sweeping the floor, anything that we can do in the temple, that is enough for us to last millions of lifetimes of searching through this world. That can't be found in satisfaction, even if we search the whole world. Only doing a little service in the holy Dham, that will be our full heart's satisfaction. Okay. That is our Gaudiya Vaishnava form. Service of Guru is the highest. Surrender and service. Dasudas Anudas. Radha Das Anudas Anudas. Always try to relish whatever service we have done. It's a very rare thing. Madhava not coming today?
Oh, I have sent him the information. I think I'm not seeing.
Madhura Krishna. Where's Madhura Krishna from?
Well, Krishna is here.
Where is he from?
Oh, yes, I'm here with.
Oh, you're
doing
doing planetarium work, huh? From Africa.
Yes. From Africa.
Gotcha. Very nice, the grand planetarium.
Connection is frozen for them.
Whose connection is this?
Yeah, our connection is little. Every weekend he's kind enough to come here, give some association.
Hi.
Oh gosh, no. Every week, like in this come, Shanta Maharaj and Muni Maharaj are kind enough to give me some association. Maharaj, it's like this. They're giving me association. I'm just taking association like this.
Get some nourishment. Spiritual nourishment is necessary. Kanapriya Didi, Haribol.
Dandavat pranams Maharaj, Dandavat pranams Santa Maharaj. All the devotees are giving Dandavat. How are you, Maharaj?
Okay.
Hariananda told that today he's going for some chess in a class, so he may join up later. The connection is little weak at your end, I think.
Yeah, something is wrong.
How many speakers spoke Maharaj today?
It's there on the
about
PDF.
5 or 6.
We can hear. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We can hear.
About five persons. Rabindra, Sridhara and Garuda Prabhu spoke,
Jagdvaita.
Yogeshwari spoke, and then Karma Muni.
Jagdvaita.
Oh,
Jagdvaita.
I said that, no?
Brahmatirtha Prabhu also spoke today.
Brahmatirtha.
I heard this Vijayananda Swami was saying that they don't have qualified man in their mission for Bhakti Yoga Institute.
Right. Don't have any real scientists.
I've seen in their institute some people were sitting. That I think in the organizer's place. Brahmatirtha Prabhu's that institute. Somewhere sitting there.
That's right.
Maharaj, we couldn't hear what you were saying.
I have seen that Brahmatirtha Prabhu's institute space, there are few people sitting in their room. Seen that?
Yes, they
Like
have.
classroom.
Yeah, many people are there on Zoom coming from other places, but they have about 10 people at the Florida Institute with them live too.
Yes.
Karma Muni Prabhu was saying about his memory. He was a cook in Atlanta temple, and he was remembering one pastime with Sri Damodar Maharaj. They were making pakora, and after they finished the pakora, as Sri Damodar Maharaj was cooking, and he was making the pakora, and then after all the vegetables were used, there was only pakora batter left, and then he poured it in the ghee, and he said only a chemist can be a cook. I don't know what he meant by that, but it sounded like a very sweet pastime.
Guru Maharaj told me, when those problems were going on in the ISKCON, that presentation, he told me that they think that preaching mission means cooking mission. He told me so. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, he told me like that. Then Guru Maharaj and myself were discussing like that. He told. So I'm not sure, maybe they were forcing or some kind of influencing to do BI like a cooking mission or something like that. Gauradas was not there in that meeting.
Gauradas, no, he was not.
I think I see Nemi Maharaj there.
He is presenting sometime today.
Okay.
It was, so Sripad Puri Maharaj is Maharaj?
They have said it is Prabhupada's or something like that. ISKCON's, right? ISKCON's Bhakti Yoga Institute.
They said like that, but Sripad Puri Maharaj's presentation was the second or third presentation of the whole event. Second presentation of the whole event. And the last, 10 minutes was talking about Srila Sridhara Maharaj, and they were playing it, So it was there very open, and they all saw it. And they accepted it enough to play it. So it was very nice. And even photo of yourself and Muni Maharaj taking sannyas from Acharya Dev, that picture was there for them all to see too.
Actually, that Guru Maharaj not liked this idea. So Damodar Maharaj that BI is under ISKCON or like BBT. He told that Prabhupada made these three organizations have a specific focus, so that they should not be like centralized everything. That type of idea Prabhupada not like. So that's why he made different heads for those organizations. But ISKCON somehow wanted to take control over BBT and Bhakti Institute, and that has created all the kinds of problems. So,
It may have been a little confusing because the Bhaktivedanta Institute charter, if you look at it, the letterhead is ISKCON letterhead. So it's a little confusing for them, maybe. I don't know.
Guru Maharaj was made as president, right, of Bhaktivedanta Institute.
Correct.
But he was not made. He was not made. I mean, he was GVC, but the GVC, the governing body, is not having any authorization role over Bhaktivedanta Institute.
No, Sripad Puri Maharaj is saying Srup Damodar Maharaj was made as the director. He was the founding director.
Yes, founding director, but GVC has any role, Maharaj, on Bhaktivedanta Institute's management or its direction? Had Prabhupada told anything about that?
No, they never said that.
But they changed that actually. They made Sri Damodar Maharaj to present as if it is a part of ISKCON. Based on money, they wanted to control Bhaktivedanta Institute actually. They never given money also, but they made Guru Maharaj to give so many presentations and all these things. And they never understood also the real focus of Bhaktivedanta Institute. But anyway, I think there was some kind of difficult thing that has BI has undergone, and still I think some difficulties are there because the mission needs a lot of help as far as finances are concerned. Despite that, some service has been accomplished by Lord's blessing. Guru Maharaj could meet so many, like scientists, and also yourself and Sudaputta Prabhu. They have, presented something wonderful to the world in terms of articles, and those things I think they are not recognized.
Anyhow, we did everything without any help from them or anyone. Only Krishna helped. Prabhupada was the same thing. None of his god brothers would help him. But he did everything without their help.
They helped him by criticizing.
Anyhow, Arjuna only needed Krishna. He didn't need his army. Till he defeated them.
He went to many of his god brothers, Prabhupada Maharaj, and sincerely, Prabhupada went to many of his god brothers.
Yes.
And tried to sincerely help them, but somehow they could not understand his that mood or sincerity. He went to many missions actually to help.
Why did they not help, Maharaj?
Oh, he was helping in bringing people to the mission, and he was distributing books, and those missions were also getting help from that actually. He was staying in even Madhava Maharaj Mott, in Keshav Maharaj Mott, many days, and other Mott also he went.
Did he ask him why didn't they help Prabhupada?
Oh, why? Maybe Krishna's desire was like that.
It's Krishna's pastime, huh?
Yes.
So how is devotee only depending on him can do everything? Arjuna the same thing.
There is a story that is being narrated by some Vaishnavas about a dog who is planning to go from Calcutta to Navadvip. And then, because on the way, the dog is a little tired. So wherever the dog is trying to rest, other dogs are barking. And dog could not rest. Dog reached very fast to Navadvip, actually. He would have rested, then a longer time would have been taken. So everything is the help of Krishna, actually. Today, one cow here got miscarriage. Um, we called the doctor, the baby, taken birth, very immature stage, maybe 3 months later.
She's okay, Maharaj?
Yeah, cow is okay. Even somebody, if the doctor could not have come, then that cow would have been in danger actually.
Mm.
He could take out that. That would have been a big problem.
Maharaj, that was the only cow that was actually pregnant, right?
No, we have 2 cows pregnant actually, and this one we were not thinking it was, but somehow it was, and then today it happened.
So the other one is still pregnant, is okay.
2, yes, 2 cows are okay.
2 more.
Maybe in 2 to 3 months time. we will give them.
Soon they will have that fresh grass, Maharaj.
We are giving the grass here. I kept a man who is cutting every day grass
Oh,
and
yeah.
bringing 2 big bag of green grass.
Ah.
And their milk has increased, the 2 cows, after taking that green grass.
It's Gupta Govardhan Creamery.
Hmm?
It's Gupta Govardhan Creamery. Creamery?
Creamery.
This place Krishna has done his coward pastime in area. This is like Devapalli. So I was thinking there are some these cowherd boys also here. They play with the stick, and Srila Sridhara Maharaj used to observe the stick play on Janmashtami. So I told them if they can, do that. But our Nath Mandir is, having some like the space is not so, open. So many pillars are there. So maybe backside of Narsinga temple, we are planning to invite them, and they will display that stick play. People can watch. What is that? Vishwabhar? Vishwambhar, no? Vishwabhar?
Uploaded.
Not
What is the name? Vishwambar Prabhu is going every day now walk with Muni Maharaj in the evening.
Well,
Vishwambar Prabhu going with Muni Maharaj to walk in the evening now.
good.
I am pushing him out of his room.
Need some exercise.
I teach him yoga dance. At least around 10 to 15 minutes morning and evening he must do yoga dance. I told him.
Yoga dance.
Yoga dance.
Hi. That sounds wonderful. You can show that video?
That's the dance for the kirtan.
Playing kirtan. Yeah.
Dance a lot during the kirtan.
Can I show them?
You can show them.
We're going to try to share on the screen the video from before.
And where was this from, Maharaj? The video was
Today, today and tomorrow,
Yeah.
the Bhaktivedanta Institute in Gainesville, Florida, in ISKCON is having a conference or a seminar called The Legacy of the Bhaktivedanta Institute. And they invited Maharaj to give a presentation. So we made a pre-recorded video and played it during that seminar today. And we're going to play it now.
Oh, lovely.
And tomorrow there is the second day. There'll be one more presentation that we pre-recorded of Maharaj also.
Okay. And so this is with ISKCON?
It was the ISKCON Bhaktivedanta Institute, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jai Shri Guru, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Vaishnavas. Jai Srila Prabhupada. This is a summary of the last, brief summary of the last 50 years that I've had connection with the devotees and the Institute. In 1970, I received a Ph.D. in theoretical chemistry from Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. And after a year of postdoc work at the National Bureau of Standards, I joined the ISKCON Temple in Washington, D.C. Here that I first met Rupanuga Prabhu, who was the GVC for Washington and Buffalo, New York temples. Rupanuga would play a significant role in in encouraging and helping us form the initial institute, Bhaktivedanta Institute. On 5th of July 1972, I received Harinam Diksha initiation from Srila Prabhupada in the New York Temple, Brooklyn, New York Temple on Henry Street. I remained at the Buffalo Temple until I was given the service of heading Rupanuga Prabhu's bus preaching program, which toured the East Coast visiting and preaching at different universities. Around this time that Srila Prabhupada instructed me to use my scientific training to prove that matter comes from life and to work cooperatively with Sri Damodar Maharaj during the morning walk in Potomac, Maryland. As part of this bus preaching program, we were stationed in Atlanta, Georgia during the first half of 1975. During this time, at the end of February 1975, Srila Prabhupada came to the Atlanta temple and instructed his scientist disciples. This was the first time I personally met Sri Damodar Maharaj and Sadhu-Sanga. Also during this time, Sri Damodar was finishing his Ph.D. at Emory University. Later, while in Madhava with Srila Prabhupada, who was called into Srila Prabhupada's room, Prabhupada expressed desire to start an academic wing of his kind. He asked Sri Damodar to become the director of that academic wing, and Maharaja suggested the name Bhakti Yoga Institute, which Srila Prabhupada agreed to. Sri Damodar Maharaj also showed Srila Prabhupada the logo of the Bhakti Yoga Institute that he had designed, and Srila Prabhupada liked it very much and instructed the words of Tato Brahma Jigyasa. He had added to it. By the beginning of February 1976, I began establishing the scientific preaching in Boston. In a letter from Srila Prabhupada to Rupananda Prabhu from February 21st, 1976, Prabhupada wrote that it was very good that I was giving class at MIT. One such class was a lecture on Beyond Relativity, delivered to MIT graduate students. Later, on June 14, 1976, in the discussion between Ambarish Prabhu and Srila Prabhupada, the Boston preaching was acknowledged again, and it was mentioned that the Bhakti Yoga Institute was going to be established in Boston at Commonwealth Avenue, which Prabhupada, Ambarish Prabhu helped pay for. During my preaching activities in Boston, I encountered Nobel laureate George Wald and Albert Z. Georgian at MIT. Full faith of Prabhupada's instructions, I asked them both to consider that life and matter come from life. While Albert Z. Georgian responded, no, that's too difficult. George Wald seriously considered the idea and felt that it may be more likely. George Wald gradually came to fully embrace the idea that mind came before matter. And seeing the last lectures and publications of his lifetime where he discussed life and mind in the universe. Starting in June 1976 issue, volume 11, number 6 of Bhakti Yoga, they started publishing the work of the scientists devotees to the wider ISKCON community. This BTG issue contained the article, Can Creation Come from Chaos? A challenge to the revealing scientific view that life comes from a chance combination of material elements, which was edited from an original paper by myself, Sadhu-Sanga, and Sri Prapanna, as well as an article called Two Ph.D.s for Krishna, which was an interview by BTG of Sadhu-Sanga Prabhu and myself. This immediately influenced public opinion of the seriousness of Krishna consciousness. As discussed between Ramaswamy Swami and Srila Prabhupada while in New York on July 9, 1976. In July 1976, Srila Prabhupada met with his scientist disciples at the Potomac, Maryland temple to further instruct them on how to preach to the scientists. During the room conversation on July 6, 1976, Prabhupada also discussed the desire for the Vedic planetarium. Later that year, on December 1976, which was the appearance day of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the founding members of the Bhakti Yoga Institute gathered at the Potomac Temple again to sign the BI Charter. From 1975 onwards, the BI preaching was primarily based out of Boston. On August 14, 1977, Bhakti Yoga Institute delivered a lecture series on atoms, Atma, and Paramama, origins of life and matter, challenge to chemical evolution at MIT. Ruda Prabhu was also in Boston, the BI at this time. From July to September 77, Sri Damodar Maharaj, Sadhu-Sanga Prabhu, and myself worked very hard on the monograph series, which will be presented during the Life Comes from Life First International Scientific Conference, held at the Krishna Balaram Mandir in Vrindavan, India. These 3 monographs were presented to Srila Prabhupada just before the conference, which was held from October 14th to 16th in 1977. Firstly, exactly 1 month later, the conference began. Srila Prabhupada exhibited his divine disappearance on November 14, 1977. Previously, in March 77, Srila Prabhupada had indicated the importance of continuing the scientific preaching after his departure, and publicly telling Sri Damodar Maharaj that the next phase is yours. You must establish our movement as a genuine scientific movement. You must preach to all the scholars and scientists very vigorously. All these details are included in the essay, Srila Prabhupada's Mission for Bhakti Yoga Institute, originally written in 1979 by Sri Prapanna Maharaj for Perspectives of Bhakti Yoga Institute. In December 1977, the events of the Life Comes from Life conference were shared with the community of worldwide devotees with the Bhakti Yoga Godhead article, ISKCON Scientists Disclose Life's Origins, Volume 12, Number 1252. The Bhaktivedanta Institute, based in India, was started to be established at the Mumbai Temple complex at Juhu Beach around June 1977, and I was given the service of being the regional director of BI at this new location. After the Vrindavan concert, I returned to Juhu on November 26, 78. I participated in the Bose Institute Time and Jubilee Symposium on Life, Matter, and Molecules. The details of my address are documented in the Bhakti Yoga article of February to March 1979, Volume 14, Number 2 and 3. ISKCON Scientist Black's Evolution Theory. I also contributed to the article, Saint and Revolutionary, to the Perspectives of Bhakti Yoga publication, which was shared with the devotees at the 79 Mayapur Festival, for the purpose of spreading awareness of BI among the devotee community. In 1979, Sri Damodar Maharaj, myself, Yanidas Prabhu attended the 11th International Congress, Parapsychology of Personal Congress, with Science and Religion in Rome, Italy. After the conference, we embarked on a speaking tour of Europe. These activities are reported in the Bhaktivedanta Institute Temple Newsletter number 1, Volume 1, published in May 79. These historic BI documents have been digitally preserved on the Richard Thompson Archive website. The details of events of the Parapsychology and Congress of Science and Religion conferences in Rome can be found in the Bhaktivedanta Institute Bulletin, issued from May 1990, published at the Princeton Bhaktivedanta Institute website. George Wold had joined the devotees to attend these conferences and accompanied them to their Radha Krishna Mandir in Rome during July 79. A transcript of the dialogue between George Wold, myself, and Sri Damodar is also included in the BI Bulletin from May 1980. The detailed activities of myself and the Juhu BI can be seen in the BI Bulletin series, which I produced from May 1980 through January 1982. In December 81, George Wold came to visit the Juhu BI before attending the International Seminar on the Living State at the All Indian Institute of Medical Sciences, or AIMS, in New Delhi. This seminar, held from December 13th to 19th in 1981, was attended by distinguished scientists and philosophers from all over the world. The Times of India printed the headline, Nobel Laureate Debunks Theory of Evolution, and reported Nobel Laureate Professor Ida Prigogine claimed Darwin's theory of evolution was no longer valid. Myself, Sri Damodar, and Vishuddha Sakra also attended the symposium in Delhi, where Sri Damodar presented the lecture on life comes from life. Further details of this event are included in the BI Bulletin from January 1982. During this time and early in the 1980s, members of the Bhakti-Vedanta Institute had been receiving Shiksha from Srila Bhakti Rakshak Goswami Maharaj. Myself, Srila Maharaj, and Dayada would often seek Srila Maharaj's guidance regarding how to preach to the scientists. A portion of these dialogues has been published in the book Subjective Evolution of Consciousness by Srila Maharaj, which is freely accessible online. I went on to receive Chidandi Sannyasi initiation from Srila Maharaj and stayed with him at the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati main temple in Navadvip until 1986. During this time, I learned more about the Vedic conception of the subjective evolution of consciousness. The Srila Maharaj explained this is concisely given in Sri Prapanna Goswami's Bhakti-Yoga, which provided a clear alternative to Darwin's theory of the objective evolution of bodies. Srila Maharaj also exposes to the German philosopher G.W. Hegel, whose systematic philosophy gives the details of this subjective evolution and arrived at the same dialectic conclusion concerning the nature of reality as the Siddhanta. Actually, it was Srila Maharaj who originally requested that Srila Prabhupada make a planetarium which depicts the subjective evolution of consciousness as explained in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, representing the successive rising to higher and higher planets in the material and divine and spiritual sky. During a talk with Western devotees in 1979, Srila Maharaj explained, that is service leading towards center, and that is Vaikuntha. Just in the lowest position there is Srila, then Vaikuntha, then Vaikuntha, then Dwarka, then Mathura, then Vrindavan, then Govinda, then Radhika. This way has been described according to Tantra, ontological conception. The hierarchy has been there depicted in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. I had a mind, Sri Maharaj continues, I had a mind, but I should build a temple here of that type, at a huge expense. So when I heard that Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada will have the biggest temple in the world there in Maya, I gave suggestion to your divine master. You do this. When such a site will come, they will have a conception of what is what. That is good. That Krishna is the highest. He has come down in Prapanna to give darshan to the people. Prapancha. There have been other documented occasions when Srila Prabhupada discussed the scientific preaching. Sridhara Maharaj said on June 27, 1973, when Prabhupada visited Sri Chaitanya Saraswati in Navadvip. Sridhara Maharaj said, scientific findings, that is also in the jurisdiction of matter, but a more subtle and subtler knowledge is possible. Srila Prabhupada. Now we are presenting the two of my scientific students, Dr. and Chemistry, and matter is the source. Matter is, the source of matter is spirit. This is our theory. Generally, they believe life comes from matter. Life comes from matter. Yeah, Prabhupada. But we are presenting no matter comes from life. Srila Maharaj said, apparently, this is more appropriate. This is Vedanta. After living in India for 10 years, I briefly visited Nepal before returning to New Jersey, where when I first returned, I was trying to find a means for income in order to establish a preaching center in New Jersey. But continuing to make these attempts, I started my own preaching work on the internet using the original Commodore 64 computers. By 1997, by 1997, I had created one of the first educational resource websites on GW Hegel with the help of other series of Gaelic scholars. This was the www.gwhegel.org website. Through this website and Yahoo groups, was actively engaged in online teaching by continuing to actively learn myself for a number of years. On February 5th, 1999, we inaugurated the sacred cycle temple of the people of Old Lord, Sri Sripad Govindiji, at the WW Mahaprabhu on the 125th anniversary of the holy appearance of Srila Bhakti Yoga. This is also the 28th anniversary of the Bhakti Yoga Institute. Sometime in 2005, I received a personal visit in New Jersey from Srila Bhakti Maharaj, one of the Sadhu's wonderful devotees. This is truly Krishna's causeless person, because 1 year later, on October 2nd, 2006, Srila Maharaj unexpectedly left this world. Due to this circumstance, I called Sadhu-Prabhu and after over 25 years without any contact with him. Due to the passing of Srila Bhakti Maharaj, I created a website in his honor, www.bhaktisudhamadar.com, in honor of his lifetime of tireless ecstatic service to Guru and Guru. Soon after these events, I was contacted by some of Sri Prapanna disciples, particularly Purushottam Jagannath Das and Sri Krishna Das. Purushottam Jagannath, who had received his Ph.D. in chemical engineering from the Indian Institute of Technology at Kharagpur, and had been serving Sri Prapanna in various ways since 2000. Sri Krishna Prabhu obtained his Ph.D. in coastal hydrodynamics from IIT Kharagpur in 2008. During this time, in 2005, he encountered Sri Prapanna Maharaj, became engaged in scientific and service. After Sri Prapanna Maharaj's disappearance, they both sought my shelter due to what they had heard about me from their Gurudev. Through an expansion of my online preaching platforms, such as regular Skype classes discussing Shastra and with the devotees, Purushottam Jagannath Das and Sri Krishna Prabhu and others began to receive spiritual nourishment from myself. The audio recordings of these classes are publicly available on the satsanga blog, www.mahaprabhu.net, along with other content. 2 issues of the Science and Scientist newsletter from 2007 to 2008, which were a collaborative effort of multiple disciples of Sri Prapanna Maharaj, are available on our www.scienceandscientist/harmonizer, starting in December 2009. A more concentrated effort is made for the monthly publication of what is called the Harmonizer newsletter, available at the same website. This newsletter includes short articles from Gaudiya Vaishnava Macharyas, as well as from devotees actively engaged in the scientific standard. Purushottam Jagannath Prabhu and Sri Krishna Prabhu were very inspired by whatever guidance I was doing to them, and they became fully devoted to this preaching mission. In 2008, Sri Krishna Prabhu, who had become Srila and Shanta Maharaj, created the Sadhu-Sanga Guru Group for the sake of discussing the synthesis of science, philosophy, and religion, and the role of consciousness in modern science. In general, as well as to specifically discuss the concept of life and matter of life, and that the subjective evolution of consciousness has more comprehensive explanatory power than the Darwin theory of the objective evolution of bodies. Sadhu-Sanga Group became a platform for a very large number of international scholars and scientists, including well-known individuals such as Deepak Chopra, Mavis Capstone, Stuart Hamrock, and Bernardo Kashraf became actively engaged in discussing with the Bhakti Yoga Institute, as well as with each other. In 2009, devotees created the Dham under Seed blog, at www.scienceandscientist.org/Darwin. By 2012, both Purushottam Jagannath and Krishna Prabhu received Tridandi Sannyasa initiation. The state vice president Acharya Chaitanya Saraswati, Srila Bhakti Yoga Acharya Dane Goswami. Purushottam Jagannath Prabhu became Bhakti Muni Maharaj, and Sushan Krishna Prabhu became Bhakti Niskamshata Maharaj. Since 2008, Muni Maharaj and Shanta Maharaj have been living at Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Much Main Temple in Dham, where I have lived in the 80s. Their present service had been 100% guided and conducted through online exchanges. By myself, not only were Muni Maharaj and Shanta Maharaj engaged in online preaching, but they also traveled throughout villages, universities in India, as well as internationally, to share what they had learned from our global market. Also in 2012, I was finally able to open the long-anticipated preaching center in Princeton, New Jersey. The Bhakti Yoga Institute of Spiritual Culture and Science was established at 20 Nassau Street, Suite 116, which was right across the street from Princeton University. The auspicious day on which the lease was signed for Suite 116 was the same day as Sripad's 116th anniversary. During the 8 years which this office served as the base of the Princeton Bhakti Yoga Institute, many individuals such as local people, students, and diverse New Jersey Bhakti Yoga belonged to the Mountain State, a UN representative of the United States Initiative, and many others came to hear what we were sharing. In 2013, the annual International Conference Series Science and Scientists was inaugurated by Bhakti and Niskamshata Maharaj. The underlying question of this presently ongoing conference series is the scientist can explain science, but can science explain the scientist? From 2013 to 2018, the conference has been held throughout India and Nepal. Dr. S.R. Bhatt, who spoke on the philosophical foundations of life at the 1977 Life Conference. The Life Comes from Life Conference in Madhava, has been an active participant in the conference series to this very day. In 2018, after 10 years of only communicating with each other virtually, Muni Maharaj and Shanta Maharaj came to personally visit me. After a short stay in 2018, he came back in 2019 for a 6-month visit. During this time, the Science and Scientists Conference was held at Rutgers University, the Student Center in New Jersey. And in 2020 and 2021, we had to adopt an online format via Zoom due to the coronavirus. All the details of past conferences can be found at our www.scienceandscientists.org. In November 2018, through the diverse New Jersey Bhakti Yoga community, Christopher Roki came to the Princeton Bhakti Yoga Institute during one of the weekly Saturday programs. After taking advantage of several opportunities for association and service with us, Christopher was offered the opportunity for full-time service as my personal assistant. In January 2019, he received Harinam Diksha of Srila Bhakti Yoga Maharaj with the name Krishna Kesavandas. In 2020, the Bhakti Yoga Institute published the book Idols of Divine versus True Reality, authored by myself. This book is available worldwide through Amazon. Since its publication, several reviews have been written, all of which have been published in the Princeton BVISES's quarterly newsletter called Sripad, which has been published since the beginning of the millennium. These are all available via the satsanga blog, www.mahaprabhu.net/satsanga. One of the book reviews was also published in the Scientific and Medical Network journal, Paradigm Explorer. In 2021, the Princeton Bhakti Yoga Institute of Spiritual Culture and Science also launched the Circles of Life Educational Community Initiative, which coordinates groups at the local level with universities and global communities to engage productive dialogue concerning seriously considering the idea that life is matter of life and the development of the subjective illusion of consciousness. There's a website, www.dviscs.org/circles of life. The first group to participate in this initiative is the Stockton University Science of Life. Current projects of the Princeton DVISCS include attempting to establish another club of choice on the university, completing the book The Science of Life, which is a synthesis of whatever we presented in various companies through the various blogs and articles, and primarily the posts that were submitted to the Sadhu-Sanga group, as well as continuing our community programs, online Sadhu-Sanga every Saturday, like at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, and monthly kirtan and prasada distribution at the Princeton YMCA.
Ta-da!
Very nice. The sound was somehow not so clear. What happened, Madhava?
The sound he's saying is not so clear.
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah, we had a little trouble with the sound.
The recording or what happened with that?
What happened?
Well, originally it was because the original recording wasn't loud enough, so we tried to boost it in like an app. So that's basically what happened.
Okay.
You could read it, right?
Yes, we can read it. Madhava.
That's why we put the reading there too, the writing and the talk together.
Yes.
Did I miss that?
It was well received, Maharaj?
Was well received? I don't know.
Well, you got one email that said it was nice, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
good.
Nobody said anything. One
Majapati wrote.
message we got liked it.
And Maharaj will be giving another one tomorrow.
Nice.
What happened to Madhura Krishna? He left.
Haryananda joined. Haryananda.
But Maharaj is asking if Madhura Krishna Prabhu is still there.
Is there? Listen.
Oh, yes.
There is Mother Krishna.
Oh, there you are.
Vishwambar also sitting.
Yes.
What did you think, Maharaj? Did I
It
miss?
was very nice. Maharaj.
Huh?
It was very nice summary of that what you can say, wonderful service that you exhibited, even though it was not included everything, but it was a very nice summary.
50 years. Summary
Yeah.
of 50-year service in 25 minutes.
It is told by Jagadananda Pandit that devotees and lords' activities cannot be explained by the language.
Yeah. I explained each year in 30 seconds. The 50
Chaitanya Charitamrita says, essential truth concisely spoken is true eloquence. Right?
The Krishna Kesava made all the pictures, put all the pictures in it. He took the recording. So he's partly responsible. The next talk is only going to be 20 minutes, but it explains some ideas about our philosophy. That was just a historical historical accounts.
This one disciple of Prabhupada, that Bhagavad Maharaj, from I think Nemi Maharaj, and they're together, I think, from that Kesavji Gaudiya Math. And Bhagavad Maharaj has a lot of appreciation for our service.
Yes. Good.
He has seen that. What is that, Maharaj?
No, he keeps disappearing. So I have
He lost in the grass. Lost in the grass.
Bhagavat Maharaj is with Nimi Maharaj. I didn't realize that.
No, they are together with that Kesavji Gaudiya Math.
Oh,
So, but he had some appreciation that we did some service for Srila Prabhupada. That's what he felt. Some significant service. That cutout you have, Maharaj, of Times of India?
where they say Ilya Prigozhin said Darwin.
Yes.
That
No longer valid.
yeah, it's in the Bhaktivedanta Bulletin from January '82. It's all in there online.
Okay. Maybe I have to look for Times of India edition to find out that.
Because Maharaj, in that one audio that you shared a long time ago of Srila Sridhar Maharaj talking with Maharaj, I remember that same thing is talked about in that audio.
Yes.
So
Maharaj, you remember that thing that Srila Prabhupada told about Srila Sridhar Maharaj in that audio that I played on Prabhupada Disappearance Day when Acharya Maharaj also attended. Prabhupada said that Srila Saraswati Thakur told that in future Srila Sridhar Maharaj will protect our devotion.
What did he say?
Prabhupada said that Saraswati Thakur said that Sridhar Maharaj will protect the line of devotion.
Srila Sridhar Maharaj will protect our devotion in future.
Yeah. Rakshak. Rakshaka.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Protector.
Yes. Yes. And that Srila Prabhupada is saying that, Srila Sen Prabhupada. And then when Srila Sridhar Maharaj heard that, he's saying that he really said like this. Oh, then he is saying that he said like that because I tried to glorify his Shiksha Guru by compiling some slokas on Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He likes him so much. So then he said like that. Then he started explaining about those slokas to Prabhupada. Bhakti Vinod Thakur slokas. A very nice audio.
Rama Raghava Raksaman. Huh? He'll also be our protector in the future. Krishna Kesara Pahima.
Ram Raghav is going nowadays and talking with some guests here in Narsinga temple. They are coming, trying to preach to them.
Nice.
Maharaj, do you have a video of that land?
Which one?
The land.
Oh, land, yes, I have. But I have not yet sent it. I will send you. It is in the mobile phone.
We can wait until you're growing some tomatoes there. Hydroponic tomatoes.
Vishwambar Prabhu can prepare some presentation, I think. You can teach. You are a computer scientist, no? You are only wants to look for some job from that knowledge. You can prepare some, you have to listen about the talks. Try to, when we are going to colleges also, you can also go and privately interact with them. But you have to come out of your room.
We can do a lot of service.
Yes, I told him to make some friendship with the cows.
Yes. And also preaching.
Yes, Ram Raghav was very enthusiastic to go and preach. And he was going with him. One day he went and then Vishwambar became very tired. He felt.
Okay, well, you need some more practice, that's all.
Yes.
More practice. Sadhana. And he'll become very strong.
Yes.
And endurance will increase.
The name changed.
Huh?
The name,
Okay.
the incorrect name from before,
Okay.
is changed to proper.
Okay.
How was your chess class, Ananda?
Very nice, Maharaj. Bien, good. I learning new technique, teaching for little children. For 4 year, 5 year, technique for teaching at children. Today, I learning this technique.
You can defeat computer. You can defeat computer, chess. Computer.
For children, for little children, this with computer is very difficult. Is to children is better teaching or other techniques, chant, gain, not necessary gain share, other gain, other gain, not necessary for attract attention of children for the teacher. Not necessary chef because it's very difficult for children. It's necessary use other alternative technique.
Those
Today, I learning this technique.
The computers are very bad for children. I heard they broke one child's finger.
Yeah, computer for children, no good.
Have you seen
missing?
Have you seen children playing the like tennis with the this television? Have you seen that, Maharaj?
The Wii.
Yeah.
The Nintendo Wii. They play tennis.
Oh, yes, yes.
I've seen many children. How can do that? Those things.
Maharaj, in the West, lots of children aren't allowed out to play in the streets, like or in the village, like here in India. So they have to play with their friends online. Yeah, such as Bhakti Yoga.
Yes.
Maharaj, have you ever participated in the flying kites?
He's asking you if you've ever flown a kite.
Oh, yes. When I was a small boy, I liked that. That was very much, that was fun.
We used to fly and cut each other's these kites with some like threads.
Yes. I did that. It's difficult though. You have to know how to do it.
You have to put some like this
Yeah.
glass,
Yeah.
this glass powder of a thread.
Yes. And you have to put a tail, on the
That is already there in the kite, Maharaj, but on the thread, you must put some glass powder with the gum. So it can easily cut others, thread.
I see.
And then they use that to, cut the, fly with these threads of the kite.
It's saying something different.
I don't know.
No.
Maharaj, there is a competition of cutting each other's,
Oh,
this thread. So they put some glass powder, the fine glass powder. So then that can easily cut the thread.
That's not enjoying kite flying. That's just enjoying being mean to each other.
every day new kites has to made, so many they cut each other like that.
They turn everything into competition, huh?
In the field we used to do that. Big people will gather and this type of things used to happen. And some of our friends were too naughty. They used to catch some snakes and make it fly so that an eagle can catch them. The rainy season, too many snakes coming to the villages, then they take out them and throw them to the sky.
Boys.
I was afraid, but they are like, expert. In village, Maharaj, generally in Odisha, they observe this Kartik Purnima. They 1 month they fast for any non-veg or anything they don't take. But we were not knowing that is the month of Kartik is Radharani's month. Only when we came to Gaudiya line, then we understood all these things. But they do it, without any knowledge. Maybe some kind of spiritual benefit or some habit, custom, all these things they do. But that is also maybe giving them some sukruti.
As many people don't know what Mahaprabhu came for, what he's preaching. They think he's just dancing and chanting.
Hmm.
Gaudiya stuff has a very important message to deliver. And now you are Acharya, you have to teach that to them.
By your blessings for us.
By the blessings of Gurudev, Guru Parampara, Guru Varga.
We need more preachers.
Yes, everyone should preach. Everyone become a preacher. First learn what is the message of Gaudiya Vaishnavism and then preach. Very important. How will people learn about that, huh? If we don't, we have to learn ourselves and then to teach others. Once we understand, when we really understand what is the message of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, then we will want to preach to others, explain to them. Such a beautiful teaching. Radha Dasya. Nityananda was rolling on the ground, trying to preach to people. Come, hear the message of Mahaprabhu. Take this holy name. Try to come to the higher realization.
Now our temple devotees every day going like Nagar Sankirtan in the morning after Mangalarti.
I hope you can make them all preachers.
Yes. Very difficult, Maharaj, they don't remember, many of them.
You have to keep repeating.
Keep on repeating and repeating, they don't remember.
You
Difficult.
have to become discouraged. To keep repeating again and again. Even in Shastra, they have to repeat. Sadhu-Sang, Sadhu-Sang, Sadhu-Sang. Not only one. Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva. 3 times, yeah. No other way. We have to say again and again also to remember.
They have not invited Rosraj, I think.
Oh, I don't think so.
That is, I don't know whether they are. They were in touch with him for a long time. What is happening with him now?
I don't know.
They have given a lot of trouble to Guru Maharaj because of Rosraj, but I don't know what they are doing with him. I think they made him sideline or not. I don't know.
I don't know.
Not too long ago, I saw he had some videos on YouTube where he was preaching to one of the temples near his center in Mumbai. On YouTube, it's there with some Swami. I don't know who it was.
He is part of ISKCON BI or another BI? I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
it's BI. I don't know so much about it, I guess. But it's on YouTube. There are things on YouTube that were relatively recent. I saw a couple of months ago.
Berkeley Temple Maharaj, anybody joined from there?
From the
Berkeley.
I don't know, Maharaj.
Berkeley is Michael Kramer.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Dhutakarma is there in this thing? In this program, is Dhutakarma's name is there?
Who?
Dhutakarma Prabhu.
He's there. He's presenting today or tomorrow. He's there.
He works closely with us.
Yeah, I'm saying he is the one at Berkeley. He's at Berkeley. Because Berkeley is connected with Rasaraj too.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one Nobel laureate from UK, what's his name? Brian Josephson, right?
Josephson, yes.
Yes, I think he works with Rasraj. Brian Josephson.
Well, he has an accredited Ph.D. program at his center in Mumbai. Like it's an actual school you can get a Ph.D. at.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, they are connected with Birla. Maharaj, is it getting late there?
Yes, Maharaj.
I'll take your leave.
Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Krishna Bhakti Yoga Puri Maharaj.
Jai Hari Ananda Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Sambhav Prabhu ki jai. Jai Krishna ki jai. Jai Uma Devi Didi ki jai. Jai Kanapir Didi ki jai. Jai Madhava Prabhu ki jai. Jai Ram Raghava Prabhu ki jai. Jai Priyatama Didi and Priyadarshini Didi and Bhagavati Didi and Ananditya Didi ki jai. I remember
My hair crying. Good Zoom meeting crying. It's the moment most difficult on the week. Good soon cry. Here crying.